Hi. Today, um, I feel pretty tired. We had a really tiring activity that we did when we were outside on the field, where we had to walk and walk and walk, just as the slaves did, who were walking to ships that were going to take them away from their homes. We're going to read a little bit more about what those experiences were like, and we're going to discuss what it means to predict something. We're going to talk about prediction. Does anybody know what that word means? Kathy? Yes. Prediction does mean to talk about something that's going to happen in the future. Okay, Javius? Oh, yes. It also does mean that it means that you gotta have some kind of knowledge, maybe some special knowledge. You're just kind of guessing. You don't really know, but you think it's going to happen. Now, where do you get this information that you're using to predict something? Uh, Maybe you had some past experience, something happened, and you kind of can see maybe how it can be something similar to what's happening in the story you're reading. That's true. Okay. Maybe you had some prior knowledge. Okay. You know already, somebody told you that could happen too. There are a lot of reasons why people predict things. Maybe, right, common sense. Okay, I'm going to read this quick little passage. We've already been reading this book, To Be a Slave by Julius Lester, and I'm going to read a passage where one of the people describes what it was like to be actually taken as a prisoner and captured and kind of not really forced, but maybe tricked. And I want you to kind of predict why this person did what they did. Okay, I want you to listen carefully. We're going to work together and we're going to try to work and figure it out. Here we go. Granny Judith said that in Africa they had a very few pretty things and they had no red colors in cloth. In fact, they had no cloth at all. So what do you mean? What would happen if somebody had no cloth? What, cloth, you know what cloth is, right? Right, cloth, material, fabric, yes. Those are all good answers. Okay, so what would you think would a person do who didn't have cloth? Yeah, I guess maybe they did. They went around and they didn't have clothes on. They were unclothed. I don't want to say the word, but you know what I'm talking about. Yes, naked. They were naked. They were nude. Yes, they were. You're all right. You guys are really smart. You're on the money. Okay. So now here they go. They don't have cloth. So what do you think they thought when they saw this red cloth? Oh, yeah, they didn't see it. They have never seen it before, and this is something new. What do when you see something new? You get happy, okay? You get excited. Why? Because it's special. Yeah. Maybe is that what you think that they thought it was? Yeah, they thought it was special, very unique. Okay, all right. Let's go on a little bit more. All right. Okay. Some strangers with pale faces come one day. Who are those strangers? Oh, the white guys, the white men. Okay. Where they come from? They came from another place. They came from, when you said America, they could have. Could they have come from any place else? What other places we think that they could have come from? Europe? Yep, they could have. They could have. All right, those are good answers. Okay. It says, they come one day and dropped a small piece of red flannel on the ground. Okay. All the black folks grabbed for it. Now, why are these people grabbing for this cloth? Oh, you're going back. They didn't have cloth. And what she said, they didn't even have red? Wow. I wonder why they didn't have it. What do you think the reason they didn't have red for was? Oh, you're saying red was a special color? That maybe that color wasn't in that area in Africa? So Africans don't have red? They have red? You seen them red? Oh, okay. But what about the story? It says that they didn't have red. Oh, you're saying maybe they didn't have red back in those days, but now people have red. Okay, those are good answers. All right. Now, you've really kind of explained a lot of this already, but I want you to explain it a little bit more to yourselves and to me. So we're going to use a graphic organizer. Now you guys all have used these before. Some of them are different. This is the one we're going to use today, and it has a couple of questions on there about the incidents that have happened in the story that you read. I want you to kind of pay attention to it, read it carefully, and we're going to do one together. And then you guys are going to do the other one by yourself. All right? I mean, I'm going to come around, but you're going to work with your groups to do it. So pay attention. The first one says, it says, the incident is, in the text, some strangers with pale faces come by one day. Didn't we just read that? Yep. And it says, and they dropped a small piece of red flannel down on the ground. All the blacks was grabbed it. Now, what did you say was the reason? When we're talking about prediction today, what did you say the reason that they grabbed it? What was the prediction? What do you predict was the reason? Predict. Oh, you said that's right. They didn't have it before. It was something special. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, it was unique. They didn't have cloth. Right. So if you don't have something, you may want it. What happens if somebody drops $1 and nobody has the dollar and everybody sees it? What's going to happen? Right. I think so too. I agree. People are going to run for it. They're going to try to grab it. They're going to try to get it. Yes, they do that. It's a good prediction. You're a good predictor, a real good predictor. Okay. Now, when you do your prediction on your graphic organizer, I want you to write down the evidence. Remember, you just read the evidence. Look back in the story. Figure out what the reason was, why you supported. Now, if you don't have that evidence, then you can't write that down. You have to write down why you were wrong. Because it could be you read something in the story that's a little bit different. Okay? So you read this part, and this is your evidence. They did get down on the ground. They didn't have cloth. They didn't have red. So maybe that was the reason why they did that. Okay? Then you have another question. I'm going to ask you to work with your partners. You're going to talk to your partners because it's important to talk to each other. And you're going to work through this together. I'll be coming from group to group, talking to people, listening, because I want you talking to each other, because I want you predicting. What's predicting? Right, figuring out what's going to happen next, or why someone does something, or why something happens. I want you to predict as you read each of these narratives. Remember, like a narrative is like a little story someone says. As you read these narratives in this book, I want you to make sure that you're paying attention and trying to predict why people are doing, because this is going to help you to understand the story or motivation better. Okay, you need to know this. Right? Any questions? Okay, I want you to continue reading. You're going to read to the end of the prologue about the narratives, and you're going to use your graphic organizer to answer the question. Once you're done, you guys are going to work together in your teams with your partners, and you are going to write a paragraph that describes what you predicted, why this happened, what's going on. It tells you basically, discuss the experiences that you encountered in the prologue, okay? And in your paragraph, don't forget to have your introduction, your evidence, your analysis, and your conclusion. Those are important. Only use one quote, yep, and make sure you write in your own words. Anybody have any questions? What are we doing today? What is the key word that we're looking for? Everybody say it? Yes, prediction. Prediction means we're trying to figure out what's going to happen. And we're using, right, the graphic organizer to help us predict what's going to happen in the story so that we can understand the story. Remember, this is to help you. So please, please, please use it. Right? All right, let's get started.